GM, everybody. Welcome to Ownership Roadshow, the show where 5 teams pitch to 5 judges live on air. The prize today we thought we wanted something, we wanted something for the winning team today. And so the price today is going to be a $2,000 Umbra sponsored ownership media package. But I will let my partner and producer introduce the details of the show. Vukan, welcome.
Thank you, and hello everyone, and welcome to Roadshow number 1, our first Shark Tank style show. As 8-Bit said, we're going to have 5 judges and 5 teams. So I'll just really quickly run through the agenda, and then we can just start cooking. Essentially, 8-Bit is now going to introduce one by one the judges very quickly. After that, we're going to have the pitches one by one. Every team will have about 15 minutes, and they can choose. If they pitch in 3 minutes, there's 12 minutes for questions. If they take 10 minutes for their pitch, it's going to be another 5 minutes for questions. We're going to go through all 5 of the teams. After that, there's going to be a short few minutes deliberation phase, where it's going to be all the teams in 8-Bit on the stage while the judges are down. They're going to take down the scores. Each team can either get 5 points, 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, or 1 point. And at the end, we're going to tally up all the scores and reveal the big winner. That's pretty much it. That's the agenda. We'll keep it short because now 8-Bit can continue.
Yep. So let us introduce the judges first. And so welcome. This is Marco, everybody, from Super Team Balkan. And Marco, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, do you guys hear me?
Yep, we can hear you perfectly.
Okay, GM, everybody, or good evening. I'm not sure what's your location right now. Anyway, first of all, thank you for inviting me here. I'm really glad to be one of the judges, and I hope to bring value to startups and share some insights. I am the co-founder and CEO of Super Team Balkan. And basically, if people don't know what is a super team, we are helping startups on Solana accelerate, basically. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you, brother, for that introduction. And that being said, we can now move on to our next judge, Mango. Welcome, Mango.
Mango
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yourself.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, it's a big pleasure to be here. And just a big introduction about myself. So I joined Solana in crypto space around 5 years ago, back when we've been all minting and flipping NFTs for profit. And I quickly switched to the DeFi and consumer space and sectors, and been growing my career since there. And today I'm also a part of the Turbine Cash. So we basically a privacy-first solutions and product on Solana. And we also raised on MetaDAO a while back. So we raised over nearly 1 million, and we super bullish and super thankful for every MetaDAO and Ownership Coin community for being our early supporters and early users from day one. And I'm super excited to dive into more about all the teams and incredible products that I'm going to be pitching today. So yeah, let's get started.
Thank you, man. Thank you for that amazing intro. Thank you. And let me introduce you guys, David, founder of Eka and Encrypt. Welcome, David. It's a pleasure to have you on.
Thank you for having me. This is exciting. I'm looking forward to it. So I'm David. I'm the founder of Eka and Encrypt. We recently announced that we're coming with Eka to Solana and also launching Encrypt. Both Eka and Encrypt are advanced cryptography primitives for Solana developers to solve problems around custody, interoperability, and privacy on chain. And excited to be here and listen to these hopefully cool pitches.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Amazing. And next up, we got Solar right here. Solar is a DeFi enthusiast who works at Camino and also an investor, but I'll let him introduce himself. Welcome, Solar.
Hey everyone, I'm so happy to be here, to be honest. Thank you so much for inviting me, 8-Bit, and hello to everyone. Quick recap about what I do. I'm a big DeFi fan, big DeFi user. I've been investing personally and also as an angel investor in some DeFi companies, like Neutral Trade, for example, or Camino back in the days. And recently, I joined Camino in marketing, and I'm really happy to contribute to Frutarchy, to the MetaDAO ecosystem. And I think what you're building is awesome. So really happy to be here and excited to hear about the contestants.
Thank you, man. Thank you. What an amazing lineup of judges out here, man. I'm so excited. And next up, we have Abbas from Umbra, the one and only. Welcome, Abbas. I'll let you introduce yourself.
Hey man, thanks. Yeah, it's great to be here. Just a little bit about me. Been in Solana for about 5, 6 years, as long as I've been around in crypto in general. Did some marketing, tech consulting work prior to that. Spent a lot of time in early super team. That's where my roots started with Solana. Moved on to do a lot of work with some other ecosystems, helping them find founders. Most of my work was around founder growth, product growth, whatever a founder needed. Did the same thing at a venture, some platform work, ecosystem work, and then moved on to helping MetaDAO over the last year. That's where I pinged Profit for the first time. I was like, hey, I love what you got on this essay and what you hope to build. With the Launchpad, I would love to help you because that's exactly my expertise and my understanding of the space. And I'd love to bring together finally my years of frustration with tokens in general and the problems tokens had, and finally merge it with my understanding of how to work with founders best. So that happened, had a bunch of teams come through from my sourcing. We had Avicii, Ram show up, Crew, Umbra, Moshish from Paystream, and then eventually, of course, I joined Umbra. Now, all things Umbra, but for context on what we do, we enable you to have access to shield any asset on Solana. You can do private sends, private transfers, private swaps, whatever you need. And we allow teams to build cool shit, especially encrypted shit. So that's about us.
Thank you, brother. That is amazing. I'm really happy to have you guys all on. It's really a pleasure. So yeah, I'm super happy and stoked about this whole show now. Yeah, next up, we're gonna take a little bit of a 30-second break here for something special that
we have to thank obviously Umbra, which is our sponsor, and I mean a huge update that they did recently. They launched on test flight, and actually we're going to show exactly how shielding works. I guess Abbas, you can share exactly a little bit more, but yeah, I'm actually going to show it on my wallet right here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you could show what the wallet looks like, I suppose.
Yeah.
But the one thing we're going to do that's really cool is we're going to have the prize pool be distributed to the users. I don't know if you can see this. So I'm going to share it to Wukan first, and then he's going to distribute it, of course. But that's what we're going to do right now privately on Umbra. So you can do this as well. And Wukan will share more details on what you guys can expect. So
yeah. This is actually a little surprise. So as we mentioned, there is a 2,000 USDC, I mean $2,000 worth of ownership media services, but also we are giving away 250 USDC to someone via Umbra. So we can, I guess, show right now, this is my, there's a public balance, which is here. And then you can also switch into kind of like dark mode with the private balance. The cool thing is, you can see right there, he's about to send me, it's vaults. So that's actually how your coins are private. He just sent it. And now we're going to refresh. Let's see if it's going to pop up. That's my incoming vault. So that just came from him to me. And the longer it's in the vault here, the more secure it's going to get over time. The more encrypted it's going to get over time. So whenever I want, when I feel ready, I can just click claim, and it's going to come to my wallet, and then I can do whatever else I want pretty much. So again, there's going to be a 250 USDC giveaway at the end of the stream, right before we announce the winners. So if you don't have the Umbra wallet on test flight on iOS only currently, just go to Umbra Privacy on Twitter. It's going to be their pinned. It's going to be in their bio. So make sure to set this up, and yeah, enjoy the show.
Yes, sir. Okay, and now that we are back, we're going to be slowly moving in to the actual most interesting part of the show. We're going to get all the judges up on screen so that everybody can see y'all's beautiful faces. Okay, very, very nice. Very nice. So this is our stack team of judges, man. I'm so excited. It's hard to articulate how excited I am about this. Yeah. Okay. And next up, we're gonna be, okay, 1 second.
GM. Can I start with presenting?
Yeah, so the first team that's going to be pitching is going to be Haba. And I think I'll just let Igor here go. And let's start the pitches.
Yeah, let me share my whole screen. Whoops. Do you see it?
Yep, we can see it perfectly.
Amazing. Yeah, so what's Hoba? Hoba is the prime broker for on-chain loans. What does this mean is that we can guarantee the best borrow rates across all of Solana DeFi. And under certain circumstances, the loans through Hoba are even negative APY, meaning they can even be self-repaying. Currently, almost all of the loans in crypto are over-collateralized. And out of the 56 billion lending TVL, average loan is only 35% utilized. It means that more than 36 billion is just an idle and wasted collateral. What we do, we are increasing the capital efficiency of over-collateralized loan. You can still take your 35% average LTV loan, but what Hoba does differently, we will borrow additionally up to 60% LTV, and with this otherwise idle, wasted collateral, borrow against it, put the extra borrowed funds into a yield strategy where the supply APY is higher than the borrow APY, and this delta reduces your original debt. So we are doing two things. On one side, we are a lending aggregator. We will service the user's debt from whatever is the best lending provider at the moment. Maybe today it's Camino at 5% borrow APY. Maybe in 3 days it's Juplend at 4%. The user doesn't need to worry about this. We will automatically move the collateral into whatever is the best lending source at the moment. But our real secret sauce, how we achieve the oftentimes the negative APY, is the activation of otherwise idle collateral, borrowing against it, putting this money to work. So two things can happen when you do this, when you borrow up to 60% LTV. First, the good thing, if let's say you borrowed against Bitcoin, and let's say it continues to appreciate. If Bitcoin appreciates, then the overall LTV falls down. It means that we can borrow even more aggressively, put more money to work, repaying your loan even faster. But now the reality, since crypto is volatile, if Bitcoin starts dramatically falling down, our risk engine called Sonar picks this up, pulls out part of the extra borrowed funds, repays the lender to bring back the LTV into a safe range. And for this, we are monitoring in real time quite a few parameters such as vault and pool utilization, loan to value, collateral price, liquidity, etc. Reality today in DeFi borrowing is that it's dominated by a small group of DeFi power users doing more than 90% of all the borrowing and lending volume. And the crypto normies, they are either scared of using DeFi or don't understand it enough. This is where we see Hoba stepping in, embedding into all of the trusted interfaces and provided a single-click experience to get these best, to get the loans at best borrow rates. We talked with quite a few teams and we realized a few things. The big teams, they don't want to take the brand risk and the risk associated with the DeFi contracts, and the smaller teams such as neobanks, they don't have the bandwidth to build this on their own. We already have 4 LOIs signed. And yeah, we are providing white glove solutions for all of our partners. Some of them said 60% LTV is too high for us. Can we do 20%? Of course, we've already built this thinking about this in mind. Essentially, long-term, we are rebuilding the whole credit stack of Solana, starting by improving the over-collateralized loans, which is around 60 to 70 billion market cap, depending on what day you take a look. Next phase would be the buy now, pay later, which would be built on top of the improved or collateralized loan. What would be a use case for this? Let's say you're sitting in a restaurant eating pizza, and if you opted into Hoba, the bill comes in, I don't know, $100. At point of sale, when you put your credit card, which is connected with your crypto portfolio, if you opted into Hoba, if we see you have enough of crypto portfolio, we will borrow these $100, pay for the pizzas, and depending on how big your crypto portfolio is, it will be repaid in hours or days. And we actually call it not only buy now, pay later, it's even buy now, pay never, if the market conditions are right. And in this phase, we would also build a risk scoring mechanism. And with those two things, we can tackle the consumer credit, the under collateralized credit, which is more than 5 trillion, but this is a long-term plan. All of this is we're starting with this self-repaying scheme. We think to charge a bit less than 2% compared to the TVL, but the real unlock happens once we introduce buy now, pay later. And sorry, these earnings come from fees that we apply on top of the performance. So it's a performance fee. Whatever Hoba earns to reduce the user's debt, we take a small cut. But the real unlock happens once we introduce the buy now, pay later, where we can charge convenience fees. And with this, if we take just 1% of the global buy now, pay later of last year, which was 560 billion, we get to 131 million ARR business. My co-founder Alex and me, and there's also two more guys working full-time on this. Previously, I worked at Tesla and Meta. Fun fact, I directly reported to Elon. I shipped to hundreds of millions of users while working at Facebook. I mean, it renamed to Meta, and I'm working 8 years in crypto as a builder. Alex, my co-founder, is the most Web3 person that I know. He was one of the first employees at Solflare, completed over 20,000 conversations with crypto users, and he scaled the BD and commercial teams at Solflare while it was rising from 0 to 3.5 million users. Also, we won 5th place on the Cypherpunk Colosseum hackathon 3 months ago in Abu Dhabi, one of the biggest hackathons ever. And yeah, most importantly, both of us, we are heavy DeFi power users and looking to bring this to the masses. I do have a live demo as well, so let me jump into that. Let me go straight to hoba.io. So this is live. Let me connect my wallet. I will connect my Phantom wallet. Okay. So on this wallet, I have 1.2 Sol and I have $100 worth of Coinbase Bitcoin. And here you have the calculator. If I put the whole $100 of Bitcoin, and let's say I want to borrow, I don't know, $5. At current market rates, I can borrow at 5% LTV with minus 35% net APY. So, and of course, if you borrow less, let's say you borrow $2, it'll be repaid in a year. Of course, if I had in this account 100K, you can imagine, like I could borrow 2K and get it repaid in a year. But of course, not to concentrate only on the self-repaying aspect of this. I want to concentrate on the main thing, and that is that Hoba at all times has the best borrow rates. If you go to Camino, you can borrow at 4%, right? You cannot borrow at negative APY. So even if you borrow, I don't know, 30% LTV, okay, now it's not negative, but still it's only 0.3%. So let me also show that this works. I don't know, I'll borrow $3. So I deposit 100 worth of Bitcoin and borrow $3. Click deposit. The domain is new, so I have this pop-up on Phantom just to emphasize this. Confirm. And voila. So I've deposited $100 of Bitcoin, borrowed $3. Net APY is minus 60%. And I don't know, I can manage the loan, deposit more. Okay, I have no more Bitcoin here. I can borrow more. Let's say I borrow $2 more. My LTV will rise to 5%. Let me borrow. Okay, now I have $5, and we can also see in my wallet, I have now $5. I can also repay. Repay $2. I'll have $3. LTV will fall. Confirm. Behind the scenes, there is the Sonar, the risk engine that's monitoring and actively looking if the LTV of how much HOBA borrowed, is it in the 57 to 63% LTV range. Of course, Bitcoin is now not fluctuating that much, and it's not expected that it drops significantly while we are talking. But if it did, and here we can see the debug info. We are borrowing at Camino at 4%.
All right.
And
sorry to stop you so short, but I think that is the end of your time. And now I'm gonna give it to the judges so that they can ask you some questions here, because I'm sure that they definitely look like they definitely have some questions. So I don't know, David, you can go first, and from there, anybody who has got questions or feedback, you guys can freely just jump in.
Thanks, appreciate it. So I just want to make sure that I understood exactly what you do. So it seems to me, I'm going to say it obviously in a bit more of a critical way, right? But just tell me if I understood it correctly. You're essentially changing the way that you're displaying what actually is the let's call it the use of capital to the users, so it looks like they're getting a free loan, right? So essentially, they have $100 of Bitcoin instead of, for example, what usually a lending strategy would be is I supply the $100 and I borrow as much against it, and then I loop it, and then I have a full position where I understand exactly what my leverage is. Here, what you're saying is, let's take a very small loan against it, and I'll do all the looping in the background, and it'll look to you like you're getting free money, but it's not essentially different economically speaking, right? From just doing the actual strategy yourself and having the full picture as a user, right? So especially when you said the buy now pay never, like that all seems like kind of let's call it retail marketing positioning instead of real financial management or maximizing my financial yield from my assets. Am I understanding this correctly?
Yeah, you are. Do you have more questions?
I want to understand. I mean, I do have a couple of questions, but I just wanted to understand that that's the understanding is correct. Okay, so one question is, I saw the product is live. Do you have any traction? Like, do you have any proof that this is something that users actually want and need, and this strategy of how you're positioning it works? And the I mean, let's start with that. I think that's the main question, and I have another follow-up.
Yeah. First, let me get to the first thing that you said. We are not doing looping, and you are correct that this strategy can be done manually. Like you can borrow manually on Camino and put it somewhere where you will earn more than what Camino borrow cost is. But if you do this manually with high LTV, you will probably have chest pain during night when you go to sleep, and you'll think, I mean, depending on what kind of a person you are, maybe you'll think, maybe I'll wake up liquidated. So that's one aspect that HOBA solves for you. Like this manual part, you're totally right. Sophisticated DeFi power users do this on their own already. There is no looping per se here. We're not putting into some looping protocols. but we are putting only in one strategy that is risk adjusted currently by us, where we think like it's risk adjusted and it's fine. In terms of we are live, but we are doing internal testing. Like we released it only to a few family and friends Solana addresses. Our contract is on mainnet, but it is behind an allow list. Why is that? Because we have not passed an audit yet. We did schedule an audit. It will happen at the end of April. And once we pass that, we will release it gradually to more people. We're really paranoid about testing it. And yeah, it's DeFi.
Yeah. So I think my real question is, what are the indications that you did receive from the market that this is something that users actually want? Because there is indication that people want sophisticated DeFi products in order to generate yield with different strategies. That we have the indications for that. Do you have the indications that people want to get like a slice of pizza that will pay itself like with your with your existing capital for a year? Like to me, it seems that most of the demand for lending products is mostly around being able to have a position, right? I want to have a long position or a short position, and I want to do it with working capital. This is, to me, like we know we have demand for that. What are your indications that there is demand for this model?
Yeah. First of all, I am the demand. I've been doing this for a year and a half, but I've been using a protocol on Ethereum. And you cannot do the pizza stuff with Ethereum. And how I'm using this self-repaying loans, I borrow against my assets, and I actually use it to pay for groceries. I also do leveraged positions, but I also do that. And we are catering to both of these cohorts of users. We did talk to quite a bit, both DeFi power users and users that are not that sophisticated. We do have quite a big wait list, but that doesn't mean anything until we release it after we pass the audit and see will the people actually use it. My gut feel is that they will. And I know people on Ethereum are using it. So why not? We'd be the first one on Solana that are doing this.
Do you have numbers on the traction?
Okay, guys, sorry to cut you off. We have very limited time here. I'm sorry that none of the other judges got to ask questions. We're going to be keeping a timer for the next ones so that we can keep this going. So thank you, Halbert, for coming on, and thank you, David, for that question. And now we can move on to our next project, which is going to be Spend, and they're going to be presenting their product. And yeah, enjoy.
Yes, hello, judges. Y'all are looking great today. All right, I got my screen pulled up here. Can you see it?
Yeah, we can hear you, and we don't see your screen yet.
Okay, it says it's in here backstage. Let me cancel and bring it back up 1 second. Okay, do you see that? Here you go.
Yep,
okay.
We can see that.
All right, cool. Okay, hello everyone. I am Kenton Cooley, iOS consumer app engineer of the last 10 years. I have built for Weight Watchers and Realtor.com. I'm alongside my co-founder here and my best friend of the last 5 years. We've had dev firms together we built for clients, and he recently, over the last year, dragged us into Web3. And over the last 6 months, we have been named Solana Mobile Hackathon Grand Champions, and we placed 5th in the stablecoin track for Coliseum Cypherpunk. Along the way, we got backed by some of the best organizations in the industry, like Monkey DAO, Super Team Vulcan, and we're also partnered with Soulflare. Oh, here we go. And together we built Spend that lets you buy anything with your stablecoins. Over the last 2 years, we have seen stablecoin growth surge over 200%, bringing total supply to like 350 billion. Yet holders lack easy ways to spend them. We have neobanks and crypto debit card startups popping up everywhere, but they're all geolocation locked, require extensive KYC verification, and crypto cards are getting banned all across Europe, Canada, and surrounding regions. But Spend lets you buy directly from your wallet. No card, no bank, no KYC. You simply browse the stores, add items to your cart, and pay with USDC. It's just like you expect from e-commerce. You get real products delivered to your door. And in the last 6 months with just Amazon and eBay, we've completed over 1,600 orders. We've done over $160,000 in purchase volume, and we have a 45% new user retention rate, which for early stage e-commerce, the benchmark is shooting for 20 to 30. So I'll let you do that math. And the question, how does Spend make money? We currently on our web app have our tiered service fee in effect, and that is weighted by order size. When we launch our version 2 across all platforms, we will be bringing that tiered service fee to every platform that we have. In addition to that, we will be one of CastCard's first business partners. And with that account, we will be making around or at least 5% cash back on all transactions. With that in mind, we are starting a private equity angel raise in the next week on Metaplex, where we will use those funds to incentivize our flywheels. We are currently on a 20% month-over-month organic growth path, which you can see where we're passive. This is where we're at right now with no incentivization and just a referral program. We plan to incentivize and push for this aggressive path, which would bring us close to $80,000 in revenue in the next year per month. So how do we go from 45% user retention and add to that? We are launching Spend version 2, which refines our flows, gives us more slippery funnels of stickier flows, and we reward users for sharing the platform and bringing others to it. And where we're at right now, we have our web app that allows you to simply copy and paste product links from Amazon and eBay to build your cart. We also have our award-winning Solana mobile app that lets you shop directly in these stores through our platform and check out with one unified checkout. And we are in the final testing phases of our browser extension, which will allow you to shop on these platforms on the browser without flip-flopping between Amazon or eBay, and Spend lets you connect your wallet and check out right there. And lastly, our agentic shopping skill. Built on the X402 protocol with Spend Rails, your agents can now shop autonomously for office supplies, home goods, and even scoop up the collectibles you've been waiting for on eBay. Thank you so much. You can scan this QR code, check out the platform. We love feedback. If you're interested in joining the Angel Round, we would also love to hear from you.
Thank you for the pitch, man. That was amazing. That was a lot shorter, so thank you for that. And I'm gonna give the mic to Marco. You can start asking the questions, any questions you may have, and then if anybody has any other questions, then you can jump in. And
Yeah.
there's 60 minutes left, so we got plenty of time for questions here.
Okay, so I am talking with Kenton every day, so maybe I will give this question to somebody else because we are already in the talks and everything. I can jump for the later startups. Just want to say love you, Kenton.
Love you too, Marco. Thank you.
In that case, if anybody has a question, maybe except David, because last time he was the only one who got to ask the question. But yeah, if anybody else has a question, then feel to jump in.
Yeah, I actually would love to ask Kendon a question. We're also well connected, and I have all the love for Spend. But
Yes.
for the real question, and you covered it part of in your presentation, which is about neobanks. So in my opinion, neobanks are all over Solana and crypto space right now. So what is the biggest beneficial point for me using Spend and not the neobanks, as well as what is your ideal user? Because yeah, neobanks have KYC, it's demographically locked, but as neobanks going to be developing over the next few years, I believe this gap will be filled really, really fast. So how does Spend will be position itself within the broader market and sustain its user base? And how big is this user base you expecting?
Yeah, fantastic question. So right now, as I covered in there, the issue is like different regions are fighting this, right? Depending on where you're at in the world, you may not even be able to open your account with a neobank right now, let alone get a card to spend with it. So that's one. Two, like people that don't necessarily want to KYC or can't, that is a demographic that we're going after. There was a point when I got debanked and I couldn't get a bank account. I had a stash of crypto. I had nowhere to pull it out to. I had no credit cards. And so I was in a situation where, I had money, but I couldn't even use it. Right. So that was super frustrating. And so a lot of those people are our users right now. As well as like some industrial traders that want to keep their stuff private and not have to off-ramp their funds.
Yeah, that makes total sense. But also, as I said, who's your ideal user in this case? Is it someone from the countries who doesn't really have the ability to open the new bank and KYC, or it's someone else as well?
Yeah, there is that, but I would say our ideal user is like everyday crypto users that have money, that just want to be able to use their crypto without having to jump through any hoops.
Yeah. All right, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. That makes total sense.
You got it, brother. Appreciate you.
Okay, if anybody else has any questions, maybe Solar or Abbas, you guys can go next.
Yeah, I could jump in with a quick one. I think most of it was already asked. I had the same question on like what the most common purchases were, or like what type of purchases were often made. Maybe some insights on that, and maybe what region had the most purchases from, if you have that data.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So the things like collectibles are super hot right now. We're having lots of Pokemon cards, whether that's on Amazon or eBay, like flying through. Metals have been very popular, purchasing like gold and silver from Amazon. And like a lot of it is just everyday goods that people need for like their homes, their offices, just like living. And there was another part to your question. I forgot.
Which region?
So the United States is our biggest one. They make up about half of the volume. And then we have France and Germany, our next biggest user bases. And Germany covers Croatia, the entire Balkan area. It covers Austria and like a whole bunch of different places over there. So we have a wide net over there.
Just wanted to add to the collectibles piece because I absolutely love that. I think that's like a massive market opportunity, especially when you were presenting, because I do often go to eBay and a bunch of other sites looking for fossils, looking for nonsense, all sorts of things, collectibles, TCG cards, and this stands out. So I love that. Just wanted to add.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question. So basically, Spend buys the item for you. So what happens if I want to return my item, because it's not going to be on my Amazon account, right?
No, it won't. And it is super easy. We're making a forward-facing way for customers to do this through the platform. Right now, you hit us up in Discord, and it's as simple as giving you a QR code. You just take it to the post office, have them scan it, they package it, send it back.
Okay.
But yes, to clarify, yeah, we are purchasing it for you, but Spend is the merchant of record on the business side of things.
Okay. Okay, thanks. It's clear to me.
Absolutely.
Okay, does anybody else have any questions here? Maybe David, you can jump in here.
I just wanted, first of all, I wanted to ask you. You mentioned 5% cashback.
Yes.
Where does the 5% come from? How does that work?
That comes from Cast. from Castcard. We will be one of their first business partners.
But who's financing the 5%, like the maximum cashback you can get, even from like corporate American Express is like 4.5%. Like, how do you get the 5%?
That is a mystery that Cast has like put on it, and so how they're achieving that. They may be inflating it themselves for a while, but that's as far as I know about it so far.
Okay, good, cool.
Yeah, I guess if nobody has any more questions, then we can move on to the next pitcher. And so before we move on, if you just tuned in, as I think a lot of people have just tuned in to this episode of Roadshow, this show is a Shark Tank-like show for Solana and ownership projects and Solana startups. 5 projects are pitching now. 2 of them have already done so. And these five judges here are judging their projects, and they are actually ranking them behind the scenes, giving them points, ranking them. So make sure to follow along until the end of the episode to see who actually wins, because at the end we will sum up all the scores, and the best team and the best ranking team will win an ownership media package. And I also want to give another shout out to Umbra for making this possible. So we can move on to the next pitcher, YieldBay. I'll let you take the stage from here.
GM guys, can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Thank you very much, 8-bit. Could you also put my co-founder on stage?
Yes, all right. Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Perfect. All right. Well, first of all, thanks for having us. It's a great honor to be here. First of all, really like what you guys are doing with the ownership podcast and everything that's going on with ownership as a whole. So my name is Sam. I'm one of the co-founders at YieldBay. With me on the call is Benjamin, who is our COO. And yeah, Benjamin, if you can continue.
Yeah.
All right. So as regards to the team and who we are, so my name's Sam, co-founder, CEO. With us on the call, Benjamin, COO, and we have our lead developer, Sega, who's very much a veteran EVM and Solana developer, as well as an AI researcher. And for myself and Benjamin, we've been pretty heavy DeFi users over the last couple of years. Before we joined Solana, we were pretty heavy DeFi users on EVM as well. Later, when Solana came along with the ICO, I joined pretty fast after. And we basically did this on a day-to-day basis, right? So we started off with things like lending and borrowing. Later, when Meteora came around, started LPing, basically always looking for different strategies to generate funds in a passive way. So me personally, I always use Camino, Meteora. I did things on Jupiter, trying to find the best ways to also get yield on SPL tokens on, for example, Perena. So I always had 6 tabs open at the same time, right? At the same time, I had unclaimed fees going unnoticed for weeks, for example, on Meteora for my DLMMing, which basically sit idle, don't compound over time. And we basically had the situation that this idle capital does nothing because you comparing it takes way too long, way too much time. Plus, I didn't really have a single view of my DeFi position, so that's kind of where YieldBay started. So we decided to actually build it. Yeah, can continue, Benjamin. So what we built is called YieldBay. YieldBay is a very simple to use non-custodial DeFi dashboard for Solana. You can simply connect your wallet, get access to all of your positions across Camino, Meteora, Jito, Margify, Jupiter, Default, and even more. We have a built-in AI copilot that reads your wallet, finds opportunities for your idle capital, unclaimed fees, and obviously find the best APY for whatever you want to do with your SOL, with your SPL tokens. And something very cool, or at least we think it's cool, and it's also important that we launched today, is a protocol health system, which gives risk scores for all of the integrated protocols that we have. Obviously, we've all seen what happened to Drift, and it seemed like people are becoming way more careful with what they do with their funds, with their DeFi. So we basically provide risk scores for unusual activity, anything that happens to the base code of these protocols, any big transactions going out, and it's all live right now. Yeah, continue, please. So on the traction part, we've been around for almost half a year, I would say. We currently today we crossed 15K connected wallets, and to start off, we did this Genesis Yieldo NFT campaign where people needed to mint an NFT to actually get access to the product, which crossed 9K mints. Then we have 2.1 million in connected TVL. So from all the wallets that have connected, there's 2.1 million inside of those wallets, all without doing any marketing. We do need to note that we've had some great partners that we've done some campaigns with, ranging from Soulflare to Meteora to Jito to SNS. Yes, next. Yeah. All right. So why we built this? Fairly simple. We built this from lived experience, right? So we have years of active yield farming on Solana. We know what's missing. We built it because we needed it ourselves. We have fairly deep ecosystem roots, I would say. We're one of the first batch members of Super Team Netherlands, and we got a Solana Foundation grant, and we're connected across a couple of different pretty solid protocols on Solana. And we have a super strong lead developer who's shipping so fast, also with this Drift situation happening now with our health protocol coming out. So moving fast, shipping new features, and onboarding new users and growing fairly fast. Yes, next. And what I also mentioned earlier is what we launched today, which is called our protocol health feature. And obviously, the Drift exploit made something super clear. You want to know where your money is, but that isn't enough. You want to know if it's safe. So what we currently have live is a risk engine, which produces risk scores for all supported protocols, so all the protocols we have integrated. Here it says already in production on the admin side, but we actually launched it to the public today in a public beta. We have an activity monitor coming people's way as well, which continuously monitors on-chain usage across protocols, flagging unusual smart contract behavior and warning users. So currently we already flag these things, but we are working on automating it into a Telegram channel so that people actually get a notification of something serious happening. And we're building an AI observational engine, which will be trained on-chain snapshots and detects different things before they actually become deep exploits. And we've also been backtesting this on the Drift exploit, and we're pretty sure that if we were earlier around this, people would have gotten their funds off. And I think it would be good, Benjamin, if you can show a quick demo of our current product.
Yeah, sure. Should still be able to see my screen. So I've currently got our dashboard up. This is my wallet. You can see the 20.7K. These are all different DeFi positions I currently have. I have some funds in Jito, some funds in Jupiter Land, 2 different positions. I can see and manage it from here. When I click these links, I directly go to Jupiter and directly go to this position to manage it. And also can see I have a DLM position here. And I also have some unclaimed fees that I'm now aware of because I didn't know it yet. But currently I'm in range, so DLMing for this. Basically, here is my wallet that I'm connected with, and here's a breakdown of each protocol and each APY you currently get on those assets. So for Solana, it basically now would be best to put it in Jito, for example, or in the DMM v2. So you can make these choices yourself. And at a later stage of YieldBay, we also have our optimization engine make those choices for you. So basically, how it's structured now is you can use this dashboard to check yourself where your assets would make the most sense. But in the next steps that we are going to roll out is our optimization engine. So it takes your balances of your idle tokens and puts it to the protocol where it makes the most APY, but also in combination with the health tab. So you can set some parameters. I don't want below 100k TVL, don't want below this much TVL. If this moves this much, I want my funds to be pulled out. And you can all put like rules in those health tab. So the optimization engine does optimize your yield, but not apes into high APY, fake, low TVL faults, for example. So this is a bit of core insights that's giving me now. Need to claim my fees because basically it's dead money because it's only gathering there. And I think when I claim it, it will say I need to put it in Jupiter Land or, for example, put it in Jito. So here are some of the insights. Yeah, let me quickly go. This is our co-pilot. You can just chat to him. He basically shows you around if you have any questions regarding DLLMing, different faults, everything he can answer. And with all the protocols we have currently attached, this is something I would say not for the pitch now, but it's definitely cool to play around with. And let's dive in a bit to the health tab we currently have in beta mode. Should be loading in a sec. Yeah. So basically what you can see here is all the faults and protocols that we integrated and with some warnings, for example. Here you can see a Camino K fault balance dropped, but is now normalized. So as my co-founder already told, we're still in beta phase. So we're now just gathering all data of all protocols. Yeah, and basically it takes me directly to the fault, what's going on. It says balance drop, and now you can see here, you can see a bit of a balance drop, yeah. So basically, we're now just gathering data on snapshots, and we need to have more data to make this really reliable. And then you can set everything in settings, depending on your preference, what risk appetite you have in terms of APY and risk to reward in terms of what pools you want to be in. So we have this for every protocol that we currently integrated: Meteor, Dynamic Falls, G2 Sol, Jupiter Borrow, Jupiter Earn, and basically we're still gathering data. So the alerts might seem a bit off now, but we still need some more data for the coming week. So I think in a week or so we have more data on everything. So the alerts will be more tailored. That's basically what it currently can do. You also can link it to a Telegram bot and get all kind of Telegram notifications and messages. And just how I said earlier, later on it will also we will plug this into the optimization engine, and it optimizes only based on your preset settings on your health feature. So that's a bit of what we've built with YieldBase so far in a nutshell. I think it's time for some questions.
I have a quick question. What is the number one reason that users aren't using you? I mean, Solana has billions in TVL, and you have 2 million. So, what is the number one reason that you don't have more TVL in your platform?
We're still fairly young, I would say, and I also believe that even Solana DeFi has quite a lot of big whales and power users who probably have a team around this playing around with that. But we do see fairly quick growth. So about a month ago, we were at 500K, and currently we're at 2.1. So we do see fairly good growth.
Yeah, and I think also a good addition to this is that we're onboarding a lot of new users. So we're around for half a year. A lot of users have seen us, but they are maybe afraid to connect with their main wallet. So we see a lot of wallets that's just a secondary wallet of someone, just checking it out and saying, oh, it's a cool feature, cool dashboard to have, but not yet until the optimization engine is live. It would make sense for me to connect with my main wallet, because I'm also very careful when I connect my main wallet somewhere. I just have a burner wallet with like 1 sol in it to go onto some customer apps or apps that others have built to test it out. I never test it out with my main wallet. So I think that's also big into play here.
I have question. I have a few of them, but I will try to be short. The first one is, do you guys have a plan that we can deploy capital to Camino, Jupiter, wherever using Yield Bay, or you just envision it as a dashboard essentially?
Yeah. So, yeah, should I answer it, or do you want to ask more questions?
Yeah, I can add. The second question is about audit, and the third question is like, what do you think is the crucial difference why I would not use Jupyter dashboard, Jupyter portfolio, or why would I use Yield Bay?
Yeah, of course. So first of all, what YieldBay currently is, it's really a dashboard indeed, what you're also mentioning. So you connect your wallet, you can see all your position, but we don't actually route yet. And it comes, the reason for that is because we still want to do an audit, right? So when we do an audit, we want to have two parties that audit it, and then we want to actually route funds. And so it kind of becomes a three-stage thing, right? So right now it's a dashboard. Second stage will be routing. Third stage will be really automizing, indeed, what Benjamin mentioned across your risk profile and whatever you want. And probably what brings value to yield base, I think that Jupyter kind of wants to stay within their own ecosystem in a way. And what we're trying to do is we just want to add all trusted protocols, right? Also because we have these health measures now available, we can just add in all of these different protocols like default that probably isn't available on Jupyter's portfolio. All of these different things that can be added along the way.
Thanks for clarification. One more short question is, what is the business model? Sorry, and how do you plan to make revenue and money from this?
Right. So what we're going to do is when we're actually going to route funds, then we will charge a small fee for actually routing people's funds. And obviously that becomes a bit easier once you actually go to the third phase where you automate everything for people. And we're kind of looking at a situation where we will at some point launch our own LST. And that LST becomes kind of like the backbone behind the entire product. So we're launching an LST as well as an ownership coin. And with that ownership coin, we want to really make people owners of the actual revenue that YieldBay will make, which will then be pushed back into the LST to kind of create a flywheel situation.
Thanks a lot. If anybody else has questions, that's from my side.
Yeah, I have
Yeah,
one. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Thank you. So to be honest, I really loved all the risk features. I'm a big fan of the fact that you track everything on chain, and I think it's a much needed product. I want to come back on the TVL side. I don't think we can deposit money on the YieldBay. What's this TVL metric? What does it mean?
Yeah, no, very good question. So the current the connected wallet TVL is the TVL for all the connected wallets, right? So it's everything across all of the DeFi protocols that we have integrated. So
Okay.
which is fairly hard. It's growing pretty hard, but yeah.
So if I connect a wallet, do you require wallets to sign? Because let's say I watch a wallet on Phantom, I connect with like a huge wallet. Does it say connected wallet, connected TVL? Does it count?
Yeah, indeed. If you connect your wallet and you sign the transaction of being able to use YieldBay, and first we had it even more simple in a way that people needed to mint this NFT to get access. So you had this step earlier on, but indeed it does count.
Okay, I see. Okay, it's a bit of a weird way to calculate TVL, but it's a nice way to like calculate growth. To be honest, I know a project that does a bit the same, Ubra from Amir, and it does a bit like the same thing with Copilot and track the best yield. I don't know if it's the same project or like if it has the same specificities. But I think that he was raising on Metaplex and it didn't really succeed. And I feel like I personally feel like there's maybe not as much demand as we expect in the space of like AI AI managed funds. But all the risk stuff is really good. Maybe it could be like an SaaS, like where like big funds use your data to track their funds, and you make them pay like a monthly subscription. This could be a nice pivot, to be honest. But right now, I don't think we have like from my personal experience and what Ubra has been experimenting, I feel like there's still some stuff to do regarding the Copilot thing and the DeFi and AI intersection, from my opinion.
Yeah,
No,
no,
makes sense.
makes sense.
But
Yeah, it's not like
okay,
you
go
have
ahead.
to give AI your tokens or your credentials of your wallet. So you also could execute it yourself. So you just get those optimization tips. You could do it yourself without putting everything into the optimization engine. An engine needs to do it work for you. So that's also a bit of a thing you could do as well.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and if we also have a question for one more, I have a short one. So for me, to be honest, this seems like just another yield aggregator, and we have enough already on Solana. But you also mentioned LSTs, which seems like you have some kind of plan going on to go way beyond that. So if you can share more details on that and basically how you see yield evolving from just a yield aggregator to something more in the future.
Yeah, of course. So kind of like the way that we're thinking about this is all the revenue that YieldBay generates gets converted into a yield-bearing asset and distributed to token stakers, probably on a weekly basis, so that this ownership coin does not only say ownership coin, but that it actually brings some type of value, because I feel like that's where we want to go with this whole situation. So they're kind of earning real yield that compounds automatically. Platform grows, more revenue, more yield to stakers, which is a genuine flywheel. Also, the LST, where that comes into play. So the LST is something that we currently have already been playing around with in private. And we envision that what I just mentioned, that a part of revenue goes to stakers, but a part of revenue also gets pushed back into the LST to kind of get the APY up in a way that once APY goes up, we also take our cut, which can then go back into it to kind of create this whole situation of ongoing growth.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I see YieldBay succeed only if it's like go beyond the yield aggregator. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. The time will tell. Appreciate the information.
Okay, and I think that is the end of this segment for this pitch. Thank you for YieldBay for coming on today. It was a great presentation, and again, thank you for the judges for all those great, insightful questions. And by the way, again, I just want to say that there is an ongoing, for all the viewers, there's an ongoing giveaway of 250 USDC, thanks to Umbra. So I want to thank Umbra again for sponsoring the show. If you want to have private transfers on Solana, install the Umbra app on the iPhone, and at the end of the stream, someone will get 250 USDC on their Umbra wallet. And for the private mode, you will need a little bit of SOL to initialize the wallet. So that being said, we can move on to our next pitcher.
Good morning. Good morning. If you just bear with me for a moment, let me share my screen. It's going to work. Good morning, everybody. So my name's Bob, and I'm the founder of Dr. Fordsworth's Fantastical Finance Factory. So can I just check, can everybody hear me okay? Yep, lovely. So the factory is aiming to become a non-sovereign store of value on the Solana blockchain that is run via Futaki. So the way, sorry, I'm not very good with these. You have to bear with me a moment. So the way the protocol is set up is that it's a free token structure. You have two external tokens, which are called crime and fraud, and you have the main token called profit. This is the one that we're intending to become a store of value. So the way the protocol runs at its current level is that crime and fraud are exposed to asymmetric taxes, which means that one will always be cheap to buy and the other one is always be cheap to sell. This changes randomly every epoch, which is about half an hour. What this does is it creates a spread via the organic volume where the one that is cheap to buy will be pushed up in price and the one that is cheap to sell will be pushed down in price. This creates a spread between the two tokens so that when the taxes flip, the one that was cheap to buy is now cheap to sell and the one that was cheap to sell is now cheap to buy. Arbitrage bots rush in to close this spread. They pay taxes on it, and these taxes are then distributed between stakers of the profit token and something we call the Carnage Fund, which is a deflationary mechanism that brings sorry, I can see you laughing on the camera, you have to forgive me. So that's the Carnage Fund, is a deflationary mechanism which then reduces the total supply of the protocol. That's where we're at now. So for some current stats on the protocol, since we went live just over 2 weeks ago, we've collected over 2,300 Solana in tax. We have over 1,000 wallets that have participated in the protocol with 1,500 or over 1,500 Solana distributed in staking rewards. The trading volume at 46,000 Solana is just under $4 million, and our TVL in the liquidity pools is sitting at just over 3,000 Solana. We are completely inaccessible currently, except via our website. We're not routed through Jupiter, Titan, or anywhere else. So very, very early stages, but the numbers seem to suggest to me that the interest is there. I'm going to try and get through this a bit quickly because I know it's a confusing concept, and I think the questions and the going back and forth will be better than the stats. So what's the next stage of this store of value, and how do we implement the Futaki layer? And this is something that I'm calling the MILF, which stands for Market Intelligence Liquidity Fund. So how this works is that the protocol currently has a crime Solana pool and a fraud Solana pool. These will be split in half so that 50% of the liquidity is allocated to a Solana pool, 50% of the liquidity is allocated to a USDC pool. This will be the same for fraud on the opposite side of the protocol. What happens then on a weekly basis is you hold a Futaki prediction market to determine what the collective intelligence of the participants feel the current bias of the market is. Are they bearish on Solana or are they bullish on Solana? You take the results of this market to determine what depth you will allocate to each of these pools for the liquidity. The idea being, I believe the best way to explain it is to think of it like a giant swing trading machine. So you're not trying to nail every move of the market perfectly, but collectively, you're trying to be able to allocate heavier to Solana as the market moves up. And then you're intending to sort of move that Solana over into USDC as we top, and you then protect from the downside as you go down, and then you can allocate back into Solana ready for the move up. So I think when some people get this idea immediately, they think, oh, we're going to try and nail every move perfectly, and we're going to be throwing liquidity around all the time. But in reality, I believe the way this would work is sort of quite smooth curves as people flip biases. And over time, this means that if you can be right more than half the time about the general trend of the market, you will usually outperform over cycles by at least 100% or a 2x, just 55% success rate. And this gets dramatically bigger over time. So as an example, I don't have it on the pitch, but if you were to go from March 2024 up until now, if the protocol pools were just held in Solana, then you would be looking at minus 55%-ish in value. If you could be right about the direction and between the allocations, roughly 65% of the time, you would have been looking at a 35 to 40% gain in the protocol value tokens instead of a 50% loss, just over 2 years, purely by using the signal of the collective intelligence. So the end game after you split the pools between Solana and USDC is then to push further I'm a firm believer that assets are going to be tradable on Solana, from stocks to real world assets to ownership coins and everything in between. I believe it all will be there. And you can eventually branch the MILF out so that there are Futaki markets for all of these different assets. You don't just have Solana and USDC. You can have Solana, USDC. You can have wrapped Bitcoin. You could have gold. You could have X stocks. You could have Avicii or Umbra, etc., etc. And every single one you can hold a Futaki market for, which is where the revenue model for the protocol comes in, because you can take a fee on each of those markets. I think the best way to picture the final product is similar to a fantasy football app, but instead of weekly managing a football team, you're collectively managing a liquid fund, essentially, as to where do we allocate our liquidity to every week and how do we pair this with the pools. So only a short pitch. That's all that I have for you, but I would love to take some questions. I think there might be a few.
So I can start. I mean, this is actually interesting, and what you're describing is a very like sophisticated and complicated new type of zero-sum game, right? We have a lot of zero-sum games in crypto. We have meme coins, we have Bitcoin, we have prediction markets, we have perps, right? We have a lot of like these zero-sum games where people basically gamble. And this is like a very, very complicated version of that. I think the things that make the zero-sum game successful is simplicity, which is something that it doesn't look like you have. It is actually pretty complicated to follow everything. There's the promise of large gains fast, right? Like perps, meme coins, all these things are, or promise of huge gains like Bitcoin. No, it'll go, 1,000x, whatever. Like these are things that attract people to zero-sum games. And then the last one, I mean, I think what I'm curious about is how do you think you'll be able to attract people to this new model? It seems like it doesn't create the dopamine rush that people need in these type of things, and it's more like do some sort of strategy, and then if you succeed, you might make like 2x over a year. Like it doesn't sound like something that is really enticing for people to enter into these zero-sum games. Or I can't think of an example of a zero-sum game of that type that succeeded. So I'm curious, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so I think to address it in a few different ways. Firstly, the idea of profit becoming a store of value is essentially you're not looking to promise 1000x gains or Bitcoin level parabolas over a very short period of time. What the protocol is designed, and I do admit it is complex at the infrastructure, although I believe that once you can make it to the end and the front end, you can make it a lot more simple for people to participate. But the idea is a store of value is more of a slow, lumbering beast than a quick gazelle that jumps across. So I think that's part of it. I think on terms of participation, and going back to my fantasy football example, is that type of gamified app has proven to be some of the stickiest games around in terms of participation and people coming back every week. And I think an advantage that we have in that aspect is that you only need to come back once a week for 10-15 minutes. You can add a social layer onto it, you can play with your friends, you can have leagues and compare your results, etc. So on the front end, you have this thing that doesn't take a lot of time to participate in, can be quite fun, you can talk and spread it around, and it's not like perps or meme coins where you have to be locked into your screen for 12, 15, 20 hours a day in case something happens. You participate in the game, you step back, the next week the game goes again.
Okay, I mean, I have more questions, but I'll let other people ask. I can do more at the end.
I want to say that the site is really nice. I really laughed a lot, as you can see. The pitch is great. The things with MILFs and everything. I have a question regarding the user. Who do you think would be the power user? Is this like a TikTok addicted guy, or is it like a degen trader, or like who do you think would be the perfect fit for you if you could choose?
I think it depends on the stage of the protocol. The end aim for the user is funds, whales, people looking to park money and be able to keep it there in a relatively non-volatile asset eventually, for the point of what everyone keeps a store of value for, which is trying to keep up or beat inflation, which is the end goal of every store of value. I think that obviously being the end goal, and I think the tokenomics should, as they develop, appeal to that kind of user, as well as the fact that although the protocol is very fun and memey and degenerate on the surface, it does have a lot of layers that people that are interested in DeFi and different tokenomics and how things work, they can peel this back and discover it in their own time.
Okay. I think he might have just been cut off there.
I'm still here. I was just seeing if anyone had any other questions.
Okay, so if anybody else has questions, then you guys are free to ask. I would love to hear maybe Abbas chime in or chip in here, since he's also very involved in the whole Futarchy and ownership ecosystem.
Yeah, I did have a question. I must have missed a bit, so I forgive me if I'm asking you to repeat something. But you did mention about pairs with ownership coins and other teams possibly getting involved. Do you have any insights on any teams that want to do this and what that's like and what their intentions and motives are?
I think it wouldn't be so much of a partnership as in working with the team. It would depend on the collective results of the Futarchy as to if they wish to add that project's token to the options to vote on each week. So once the token is live on the blockchain, if the collective intelligence chooses to buy it or not is up to them rather than a direct partnership with a team.
Makes sense. So it's just anyone could put a proposal up and be like, hey, we'd love to have this, and then market figures if that makes sense or not.
Yeah, I think you certainly need to be quite strict on the rules, especially when you start to throw large amounts of liquidity around, depending on the tokens. But that is, the aim would not be that the protocol was the one to decide which assets were made available at the end game. It would be up to the intelligence themselves to decide which ones they wanted to vote on, and then they could then vote on them.
Sorry, just one question. Would you imagine it's the most hyped token in any given moment that probably has an immediate proposal go up for something like this? For example, if one of the ICOs happen and there's like a massive amount of volume come in for that particular token, whether it's Umbra, VC, or something else, I'd imagine the market wants to chime in and probably have a proposal up for that one. I'm just curious.
I think when you're looking at new and fairly low liquidity tokens, you would have to be very careful with the rules, and it would have to be a very limited set of the funds availability that could be dedicated towards that, even with large volume.
Makes sense.
I have just maybe kind of a question and maybe a comment. Do you have insights into who are the existing people who are engaging? Because you showed that there is some engagement and people are trading this stuff and engaging with it. Like, do you have any insights on who these people are? And I would say, regardless of if you have or not, I think this is probably the most critical part of making this successful, is being obsessed with understanding who are the people that are engaging right now and finding more people like that, or getting this in front of the same type of people, or being able to expand that circle. Like, I think that is the key thing of this, maybe being able to reach escape velocity.
Yes, so I think at the moment it's definitely a mixture of users. Like I said earlier, you sort of have the trench guys, the degenerates, the guys that found this early. We launched, it's only myself on the team, completely self-funded. We launched quietly, no marketing. So it's those guys that are online daily and researching that found the project. And as we've been growing, we are starting to get more interest now from slightly larger capital, especially people that are interested in Futarchy and the possibilities of it, people that are interested in store of values. We've seen quite a few people from the all community express an interest, and I think that will probably continue to grow in most areas as people continue to find it. It's between the branding and then the complexity underneath. I think there's a bit of something for everyone.
Okay, and I believe if nobody has any more questions, then we can move on to the next pitch. But before we move on, I want to let all the viewers know that at the end of the intermission, people, we will be reading off comments that all the commenters have, or all the viewers have. So all the viewers, you guys can put some comments here, questions for all the pitchers, and we'll be asking them at the end of the stream. So, by the way, I just want to say the fact that you had a British accent, I mean, absolutely amazing. It always there's a special ring to it in my ears when I hear it. So yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that pitch.
Brilliant. Thanks for having me.
And we can move on to the next pitcher, which is Send Arcade. So yeah, I'll let you take the stage now.
Hey, hi, GM. So I guess I'm the last pitcher of the day, and I'll be quick as possible. So yeah. Hope my screen is visible. It's not. Yeah, it is now. Cool. So I'm Semi from Zen Arcade. We bootstrapped this gaming studio fully, and now it has. In the last year, it had around 200K ARR. We built 10 plus apps, 5 plus infra, which included like Solana AppKit and other things other than just games also. But yeah, essentially we are a gamified casino arcade. So I'll tell you some stats of what we did like in the previous years. So we started as like building on Blinks. So all our games, all our arcade apps were targeted towards crypto users. These are some stats on the transactions. One notable was we ran a game show called Squad Game, which has 2 seasons. The first one had like 10K prize pool, other had 50K prize pool, and it had like a huge soul volume on its NFTs. We also incubated another game token launching protocol called Vibe Game, where you can like vibe code games and launch game coins on it. That's notable. And yeah, all of these games were more targeted towards crypto users and gamers. So we had a good run last year. But and like these are some of our wins. I guess I mean LAN Roads was one of our most famous and yeah, sticky games, and it had around more than 10 million hops around the whole gameplay the season. And these are some of the hackathons we won. Okay, but now after like the whole run, we are now expanding into real money mobile gaming, which is a huge market. I'll just quickly tell you this market size, which is basically it is one of the biggest revenue earning markets on the App Store, especially. And to give you an estimate, so Papaya Gaming has like 35 million in revenue like every year, and it's been expanding. Papaya Gaming is one of the leading real money gaming, and by real money gaming I mean like simple games like Solitaire Cash, Bubble Cash, Bingo Cash, which are very easy games, but people play them PvP amongst other players, and the demographics are mostly guys and people ranging from 25 all the way up to even 50 to 60 years, because it's popular amongst even older people. Because yeah, so these are some of the demographics and the revenues. So yeah, but the problem here is that real money skill-based gaming does not have transparency. The same protocol, Papaya Gaming, just had a lawsuit where basically they were kind of cheating their customers using bots. And because again, like the whole scenario is the player wants to play against a person. If he is able to beat him in this game of skill, whether it be solitaire, bingo, simple things like like that, and win money. That's the whole point. But like a lot of apps are like again making withdrawals hard, only limiting withdrawals, and basically getting lawsuits filed here and there. So yeah. So to solve for that, the old way was basically user trusts the servers, server decides who wins, user backs or withdrawals, all of that. The new way which we want is just code decide who wins and users withdraws instantly. It's very simple, but still there is still no app on the App Store which does it fully on chain. So and like it's verifiable even if not fully on chain. So what are our competitive advantages is, I mean, we've been building games on Magic Block for a while, but basically no KYC, instant payouts. We have a rake back system which gives out better rewards than what app exists on App Store. Our games are fully serverless, so we don't have to host any servers, and they're built fully on chain. So again, in a game of skill and a game of where you need to verify whether which side won, it is, I think, the only solution possible to again once a lot of users get burnt out. So yeah, our product is pretty simple. Play PvP games, win and get paid. These are just some screenshots of some games we had. Simple clones of even hill climb racing, wall run, and all of that. And So yeah, and our revenue model is pretty aggressive too. We just take 20% of every PvP match, and we do revenue sharing through daily and weekly prize pools. Um, and of course, like we have in-app purchases, skins, all of that too. But yeah, like and which is pretty popular too. But for now, yeah, we tried to raise on for audio. It didn't, of course, it didn't fill in. But I'll tell you about the token a bit after showing you a demo. Again, it's a mobile app, so I'm showing you the YouTube demo video. But yeah, so here's a quick walkthrough through the app. So it's designed like any Web2 gaming app, because our main uh, point is playing very simply like a Web2 game, and just having instant withdrawals, and just having no servers which are like managed by us, so that it's super verifiable. So the game is so smooth even without running on servers. This is fully running on Solana. This and yeah, like this is just the walkthrough to one of our apps. Yeah, and we have like here a lot of skins, tutorials, different maps, and like the games can go to up to this speed, very insane. And yeah, like at the end you just get payouts. So again, it's nothing very complicated. It's nothing DeFi, but I think it's a huge market, and even the top revenue earning apps on the App Store are Triumph Arcade, Papaya Gaming ranges amongst them. So and still they're like the users are unhappy, so there's a gap to fill. We again, like coming back to our, why we want to launch ownership coin was this concept of having like arcade token representing chips. The As you walk into a casino, you're always given chips to play these games. So our token like if after, I mean, I want to launch it again. Like I want to do the basically raise again, and when we launch it, I wanted to represent poker chips, and people be like, as the value of that poker chips appreciate, people will be able to um, like basically own the part of the casino. And like as of course, like as the traction gets more, as more people wants to play, I think like owning the casino is a fresh new idea which people would like. So that's it. Yeah, so for the updates you can go subscribe to our like Twitter and or text me. That's all from my side. Thanks.
Can I ask what exactly happens on chain? I'm not sure I understood. You said it's verifiable and it's not like things are happening on a server,
So, so,
but it,
so
yeah.
the whole map of the game, like the whole game, the whole coordinates of system of the game exists on chain. We don't use any backend at all, and
So
we use we run it.
every single action the user does is an on-chain transaction?
Yeah. We
I mean,
demoed it using like first we last year we launched Lana Roads, which was like a crossy road like hopping.
yeah, but
Uh,
PvP is not the same as single player, right? With single
yeah,
player,
but
you can play around with the latency. But if you have different players who are reacting to each other, the end-to-end latency. I mean, do you have you rush through the walk, like the demo,
yeah,
not a demo, the walkthrough of the game? Can you
yeah.
show like how the end-to-end latency looks like? Because it doesn't make
Um,
sense for a
so
like P2P game.
like the latency is under 10 milliseconds. I mean, I can show you on the seeker I have here, but
Wait,
basically
wait. Can you explain how the user submits transactions on chain
yeah.
PvP
So
and
the
it's still 10 milliseconds? I don't understand how that's possible.
Yeah, basically what happens is the RPCs are connected to wherever the location is nearby to them, and the same contract, like whenever user submit the transaction, it goes and gets registered in the PDA. It immediately gets we are running our own indexes and immediately for each game. So it immediately gets indexed to the game of the other user, and basically that's how we keep the latency. You just need, because the user just needs to fetch from the contract what has changed in that player's map.
So the players are talking to each other directly without the blockchain, or
With the
those,
contract, with the contract, they're just
but it's
talking to the contract.
what you're saying doesn't make sense because there's the speed of light, right? Like information can't go faster than the speed of light. So if it goes
Yeah,
to
I mean, I'm saying 10 milliseconds. That's why it's not faster than 10 milliseconds. And for games like these, like 10 milliseconds offer a very good like user experience. It's not bad.
Look, 10 milliseconds is amazing. What I'm saying is that it is impossible for you to have a game that works on the blockchain. So I, as a user, submit something to the blockchain, it gets updated there. The other user reads it from the blockchain, and that will happen in 10 milliseconds. That's completely impossible.
I don't know if you've like heard of Magic Block or used it. It's a roll up basically, which
Okay.
clones the state of
So you're on Magic Block, not on Solana.
Yeah. I mean, so Magic Block basically makes a temporary roll up for a session. So when the game starts, we have a roll up that basically is for that instance. So like for that game, there is a roll up running with some the whole transaction, whole gameplay happens there, and then when the game has ended, it submits it back to Solana, and the whole game is recorded. So that is how it happens.
Okay. Now that makes sense. So it's not on chain, it's on Magic Block. And
Yeah, which
then
is- yeah.
instead of trusting a server run by you, they're trusting a server run by Magic Block, right? Is that correct?
It's more like a roll up. Like again, like we also run Magic Blocks validators, and like basically like it also has a lot of people, like a lot of teams running their validators. So it's not a server; it's a decentralized network itself. So
I understand. Look, what I'm saying is it's important to say things exactly as they are, right? So there is a
sure.
trust element here, and the trust element is you're trusting Magic Blocks, which I think is a legitimate, trust assumption. Just you can't say that it's on chain because at the end of the day, everything can be submitted to Solana after Magic Block theoretically cheated, right? So you do trust Magic Block, and that's fine. It's just important to say that and not say that it's on chain and it has like 10 milliseconds latency, because that's impossible.
Fair. But again, like there are like you can always like read the contracts while the game is going on too, like just using the RPC, Magic Block RPC. So yeah, like the risk of cheating like goes very down, and it's like negligible because you can always read the contract real time while it's happening on Magic Block, while it's not submitted on Solana. So
Okay, next up, I think Marco might have a question here. So you can ask it now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
sorry to
No
disrupt you,
worries.
David, but yeah, I want other judges to also ask a couple questions.
No worries. I have a question regarding the expansion, and what I was thinking about is like that you're building in a niche, obviously, which is not necessarily bad, but games like this, I think you could onboard a lot of people from Web2 that would also play it. So, did you maybe think about some kind of like account abstraction or maybe some kind of fiat payments or something like that?
Yeah, we're like directly working with Privy, like using MoonPay to have direct Web2 payments onboarded. Right now, that's our main Web2 connection, but yeah, and like we've mostly abstracted everything. Like for the past 2 years, we've mostly targeted crypto users, so we know what they want. But now studying the demographic of Web2 users, it's basically embedding all these elements which were addicting to Web3 users inside the whole Web2 transfer. So our app also takes like inspirations from common games like Brawl Stars, and again, like I showed you, Hellcam Racing, all of those things.
I think that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh,
Anyone?
wanted to jump in here. Hey, Sammy. I just wanted to understand more about your last raise and your expectations going forward. I think, do you have like a change in plan on your approach, mostly thinking through the capital itself, what you need and how you're going to spend it? Maybe I think someone who wants to participate would love to know that better.
Sure. So, in our last raise, we were targeting around 250K, and 288K to be precise. But yeah, I realized like that was again for audio was also new. Most of the raises which worked were 50K. I think I could, but like I still want to go for a range like this because again, like building games like this takes a huge amount of capital. And yeah, like we've mostly on the hindsight, we've mostly finished these games. Like these are most finished of our products, like this game and a bunch of our games. But going forward, launching them is gonna require a huge amount of capital. So that range is where I'm planning to raise again. Again, like this raise makes is important for me because I want to integrate the arcade token inside the app before launching it, inside all of these apps before launching it, so that like people can own the whole narrative. But if the market doesn't look good, we can always like have USDC and like how cash games work, we can have that. But like my main reason for raising, of course, like is have capital to build the next titles, plus have people own the whole poker chips of the whole this ecosystem of apps. And of course, like when we launch on app stores to Web2 users, they'll play it like cash games. But of course, the capital which will be deployed by them can be owned by anyone. So I think that would be a very new twist for ownership coins as well. So
Cool, makes sense.
thanks.
Yeah, and I also have a quick follow-up on your raise. So it didn't succeed, but do you think this was mainly because there is not enough demand for the gaming, like from the community, or there was some other issues with that? But basically, what's your plan to improve the system and how you basically pitch your project and make it more attractive for the users to actually understand what you guys building and like the whole vision?
Yeah. So I realized a lot of it was a bit of like the whole gaming meta is dead kind of vibe also was going on. I mean, the whole Lily thing happened after the race was done. If it had happened before, it would have been such a great timing, to be honest. But yeah, a lot of the funds like that came were like directly pulled in by me asking the people I know that, okay, we're raising, can you do that? I realized that the awareness we had with the Web3 users is like is kind of like even the users which played our games, the Play Solana users, all of that, are not very bullish on investing on gaming. I talk to them, all of that. So finding this sector is important for me before I raise. I've been talking to people who are also involved with other games, other a lot of our users are from Play Solana. So talking to them, how is that they also got burned by a lot of gaming tokens, and Ponzi games. So trying to have that trust again, like ownership, Futaki automatically gives that trust, but still people are like, because it's casino gaming. I don't want to hold back the word casino. Like a lot of people say to me that you should not have casino in the which you're an arcade. But I think having like showing both sides of this, the whole platform is better, and being honest. And again, like that's why I want ownership coin. And I think communication and more like updates, having again initial traction of users, would be good. I mean, we have the numbers from our last games, but yeah, for these games, and like still publishing to the app store once our app store app is approved, I think that should also improve the chances of the race being succeeding. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Thank you.
And if nobody has any more questions, then we can move on to the last phase of the show, which is going to be the judges. They're going to go to the background and they're going to make their, they're going to write down their opinions, score these teams, whatever. And meanwhile, we will be having the projects back on and asking them all the questions that we'll see in the comments, or just, have a little bit of conversation with them. So just give us a second as we put them all back. So how you guys doing? You guys just pitched to a crowd of 5 incredible people in the ecosystem. I hope you guys are doing very well. I hope it's been fun. And so I'm just gonna start putting some questions out there that we're seeing in the comments. So I think we can start with Send Arcade. And okay, yep. Have you launched this with USDC as chips to gauge traction revenue to see how they would play out with your own token? So
yeah,
Semi, I'll let you answer that.
Yeah, for Send Guys, one of our apps which was on Seeker, like for the season 1 or Seeker season 1, we launched it with Sol and USDC both, and it played out pretty well. Like it was essentially just like a simple PvP match, like how it plays out in like arcades. We had like over around 20 games around played, and but of course we realized that it was a lot of like player finding problem at that point of time. A lot that people find out the like someone wants to bet the sizing problem. Someone wants to bet a huge size, and the other person doesn't want to bet that size, and in general that. But yeah, we improved our matchmaking mechanisms to like get more like size areas which people will agree on to bet. But yeah, like when you remove the token, it's mostly a play of like how much people want to bet. With chips, we kind of standardize it, and again, like the standardization does not change much in the gameplay. It mostly changes more with the like owning the protocol and owning the share of like as more popular the protocol gets, more chips gets used. It directly incentivizes the owners of the protocol, not as much as the players. For the players, it's mostly a poker chip which they can redeem at the end of the day. So yeah, that's my whole scenario looking at it.
Thank you, Semi, for answering that question. And shout out to Zim for asking it. Next up, this is going to be a question coming from Vidor from Soulflare, straight to Igor. And he's asking if you were live, would the recent situation... Oh, hold on. I think Igor is off now, but hold on, boys. 1 second. 1 second here. Okay, so we're gonna ask for Fraudsworth. So you cannot buy it on Jupiter or see the price on DEX. Do you see a pathway to it being on Jupiter or seeing on DEX Screener? What are your thoughts on this?
Yes, so yeah, currently you can't access it anywhere except the website. We have submitted the SDK that JUP requires, so that's on their end now. I believe there's quite a backlog for custom AMMs and DEXs that want routing via Jupiter, so it could take some time, but the process has started, and that's the same with Titan. Once we are routed via those two, then we can start to address things like DEX Screener or trading terminals like GMGN, Axiom, or any of the others.
Thank you for answering that question, man. Yeah. I mean, that presentation really killed me. I mean, that was funny as hell. Yep. Oh, yeah. And just for context for anybody who's watching this, so Igor did answer the question for Vidor, and this was his answer. I just want to highlight it so that all you guys can see. The recent situation with Drift would have not impacted us at all, as Habe is integrated on lending side with Camino and Jupland. Drift was too risky from us with the start. We decided to only go with the largest liquidity protocols, and this promise we will keep. So that was the answer to one of the questions before. Okay, so I'm gonna look out for any more questions from the audience. Okay. Okay, I don't think we have any more questions from the audience, so I just want to ask you guys how you guys are doing. Did you enjoy that? Maybe we can start with... Oh, actually, you know what? I did find a freaking question here. Look. For YieldBay, how does your business model compare to Lulu? Use Lulu, especially for automated routing part. Is there any competitive advantage that YieldBay offers that Lulu doesn't?
Yeah, so I don't know the exact rates that Lulu charges. Probably a big advantage of using YieldBay would be that we really plug into all different protocols, almost all protocols that you have on Solana DeFi. But I'm not sure of the actual rates, so we would need to check them out and compare them to what we have in mind. Also because we don't route yet and don't have this automated system yet.
Okay, thank you. I hope that answers your question, Lazy Soul. Thank you for asking that question. So yeah, how you guys doing, man? The judges are rating you as we are speaking. We can see how they're. We have a group chat with all the judges, and you know I can already see a sneak peek into who's going to win this. But yeah, how you guys doing, man? I thought it was really exciting. For me, it was. You know, this is our first show, so really for anybody who's tuning in, I really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you guys coming on. So yeah, if you guys have anything more to say, I mean, feel free. This is
this was a lot of fun. This was a lot of fun. We I know my co-founder and I, we have demo day with Monkey Foundry coming up, so this was like good practice for that. And when we were out at Mountain Dow, we did demo day over there. It was fantastic. So you know, the more people are involved in these things, just like the better all the teams involved get. You know, so I really appreciate you putting this on.
Yeah, so I can't even imagine. You guys did Mountain Dow, and now you're doing the show, and then you're gonna do a demo day. I mean, that must have been freaking crazy, right? I mean, it's a packed packed as hell.
It is, yeah. And then fitting engineering and marketing and everything else in between, it's insane.
I don't know how these guys do. I've seen them at I was seeing them at Mountain Dow. They used to like go the whole day, just yeah, and then like pitch also like their pitch was the best pitch. I can vouch for that. Probably Vibhu, Edgar, everyone can vouch for it. It was the best pitch off Mountain
Thank
Dow.
you,
So
Simi. Much love
yeah.
for you.
I think Igor is back from Haba, so I just put him on stage. Welcome, Igor. How you doing? How you feeling after the live stream, man? How you doing?
Yeah, feeling great. Thank you. Sorry, I was out because I'm on this meetup, so I'm running between two places. But
Yeah, bro is doing everything at the same time, man.
yeah, it's a startup life, like
it's the
crazy.
founder life, right? It's the founder life. Founder mode. Maybe next live stream we can start the live stream by everybody shaving their heads and actually going full founder mode. Maybe we'll make that a requirement.
Yep.
Me and John will cry if that happens.
Yeah, I can't do that. I don't think Simi or I could do that. No.
Yeah, but yeah.
Are you saying you wouldn't give up your hair for a little bit of that founder mode?
Man, I have a great picture that AI made of me with bald hair in founder mode. We could use that.
I mean, that's what AI was made for, right? I mean, damn. Oh, what the hell was that? Yeah, okay. The judges, by the way, for anybody who's watching, the judges are still, we're compiling all the lists. We're compiling all the scores that the judges have given. So just please hang on until we finally compile them for good. And yeah.
Does this have a timer? The judges also have a timer?
It seems like we have a timer. Yes, we do. This is a time until the scores come, and this is just so that we know when it's going to happen. But oh my God, we almost have 5,000 viewers. That is crazy. That's really good.
Wow.
And for all the listeners, guys, if you've been tuning in and if you've listened to the live stream for the full episode, I mean, thank you. If you like to see more content, please do follow us on Twitter. We also have like every single social media that you can imagine. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we also do a weekly spaces on Sunday, so please come join us on Sunday for Ownership Radio. We have some banger guests on there as well. Last week we had Wozy Lawyer, we had David, we had from Ika, and then we had also Colin from MetaDAO. So it was really, really cool. And every single week the quality just gets better and better. So everybody's welcome there. Who's interested. That being said, also don't forget to come join our Telegram group where everybody can share their ideas about ownership and what they think about it. We have some really great stuff coming up. I'm super pumped. Even though this is the first episode of Roadshow, we have a really great podcast coming in the next 2 weeks. And it is one of the podcasts that I think everybody's been listening, or everybody's been waiting for that and asking me for that. So yeah, I'm super pumped for that episode in a couple weeks. And yeah, we also have an announcement next week, hopefully, which is going to be huge. So yeah, we're packed with announcements. We're packed with events. So please, guys, for all the listeners, feel free to follow along. It's truly, truly awesome. And yeah, we got 1 minute and 30 seconds to go, but I believe that we have Marco who has something to say. and we'll put him on in one second. So, hey, Marco.
Hey guys, thank you for letting me speak for the last minute before the judges announce the winners. I want to say something. First of all, the two teams that were pitching are Spend and Hoba. They are the part of Super Team Balkan. I am super proud of how far they've come. I'm super proud of the grit they have and everything. And basically, why am I saying this? Guys, right now there is a huge hackathon, the biggest one on Solana, happening by Colosseum. We met Hoba and we met Spend through the Colosseum. We helped them. They were both winners. Now they are doing amazing things. So I will just use these last 30 seconds to invite you, as I see that a lot of you who are viewing are either founders or are interested in startups. If you're maybe not aware, there is a perfect opportunity right now to sign up for the Colosseum Hackathon and participate. Find your local super team, reach out to them, they will help you. So I think it's a perfect and great time and opportunity for you to try yourself, to try your product, to get some feedback, and maybe in the end win and become great. So yeah, we are waiting for you guys.
Thank you, Marco. That was shout out to Marco there. Yeah, as you said, please go and join the Coliseum, man. And shout out to Super Team Balkan. They're really great guys. I've met a lot of them. Really, truly one of the most amazing builders and teams and the Solana ecosystem. But that being said, we are going to now take off all the teams and we're going to transition into the last, and we're talking about the last part of the show. We're going to be revealing the points, and yeah, we're going to be revealing all of that. So just give us a second. Okay, and we're going to be going at 9 points, and 5th place, we have Yield Bay. And yeah, shout out to Yield Bay, man. You guys were awesome. I really like the pitch. On the 4th place, we have Send Arcade at 12 points. And then, I wish we had drum rolls, but at 3rd place, we had Fraud Worth at 14 points and 3rd place. And then for the last remaining 2 places, we're going to announce them in the same time. So I hope you guys are ready for it. For the 2nd and the 1st place. At the 1st place, we have Spend. And at the 2nd place, we have Hava. Shout out to you guys. And thank you for all the teams for participating. I mean, this was really an amazing experience. It was truly, truly something that, I've never imagined that I would be a part of something like this. And also, guys, if you're listening, if you're watching and tuning in, that giveaway is still ongoing for that USDC. So please leave your address in the comment section so that we can give away some of that sweet USDC. And now, Spend. How do you guys feel after that?
Oh, great. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you judges. Thank you, 8-Bit. This was a lot of fun. Oh,
I mean,
and to
yeah.
and to Marco's point, go join Super Team Balkan. If you don't have a super team, go join Super Team Balkan. Y'all are all Balkans.
Okay, and yeah, we'll definitely have a chat after this, so that we will give you the ownership media package and help you guys, amplify you guys a little bit and help you wherever we can. Awesome. And also shout out to Umbra for sponsoring this prize. Without them, this wouldn't have been possible. And also shout out to them for hosting this giveaway. And yeah, man, really congratulations. This was,
you.
in my opinion, this was pretty close. I thought these were really top tier teams here. I really liked all of them. And yeah, man, congratulations. You won, man.
Thank you. And like shout out Hoba and the rest of the teams. All y'all are fantastic. Much love to everybody.
Okay. And one more second. So yeah, anybody can win the giveaway from Umbra, even if they haven't registered for private mode. It's not that big of an issue. You will see the money in the outgoing vault, and you can claim it for the winner. Yes, so you guys can comment any Solana wallet. We'll give you 60 seconds, and yeah, you have 60 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to be choosing a commenter now, who will be the winner. So this is quite, I don't want to, okay, so we have quite a few wallet addresses here. I want to make sure to pick somebody that's, that put up their wallet addresses. So, okay, let me just quickly verify that everything is nice. And I believe the winner is going to be Kiglis. Amazing. Congratulations, brother. You have won. We'll be sending out the giveaway award soon after the stream, or as soon as possible. And yeah, thank you for showing us your wallet address, and thank you for participating.
So I think that's everything for the roadshow number 1. We're going to be giving away that 250 USDC after the stream. But I think this is pretty much it. 8-bit, how do you feel first time as a host for something like this?
Dude, we got freaking 5K views. I can't even remember. I mean, I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. I mean, 5K views, that is insane. That is an insane number. And I really want to give a huge shout out to you, Vukan. Much love. Without you, it would have not been possible. So guys, really, you guys don't know how much Vukan has been helping with this, with the podcast, with Roadshow, with basically everything that goes into ownership. He has been a huge help, and I'm very proud to say that he is my COO. he helps me with everything from production, design, and yeah, he's been super helpful. So yeah, I really just appreciate everybody who's helping us, and I'm just super grateful to be here. And yeah, I'm absolutely flattered at the amount of attention that we got. And yeah, that's really it, man. It was really cool. I had tons of fun, and I can't wait to do it again. So if anybody's listening who wants to raise or who wants to come on the show, you are welcome to come on. You just gotta DM me on Telegram at the real 8bit, or you can just DM me on Twitter at 8bit penis. I'll never get tired of saying that, by the way. But yeah, Vukan, how you feeling, man? I mean, you've also put a bunch of energy into this, so.
Yeah, I mean, I think your glazing was perfect. I think it said pretty much everything. But I mean, the amount that we've been cooking in just 60 days, I think 60 days ago, pretty much we started ownership. And yeah, I mean, I think everyone can see kind of how fast we came here. I think that really speaks on how smart you are and how well connected you are, and just how everyone respects you so much in the industry. And I'm really proud that I was able to show the execution from my end and from my team. I guess many people don't know, but I mean, like 8-bit is everywhere. and he's the face of the brand. But all the execution mostly comes down on me and my team, Blockformer. So I want to give a shout out to Echo. I want to give a shout out to Naman, our editor. I want to give a shout out to Sobix, our community manager. I want to give a shout out to Messi, our host for the spaces, and our clipper. So it couldn't be possible without our team and without, 8-bit, of course. So I don't want to take everyone's time too much. We're really like this is literally just the beginning, not just for Roadshow, not just for Ownership, but like in general, everything that we're doing, we're cooking so much. You can imagine this was like a Shark Tank style. We kind of want to do it monthly, and I guess you can kind of guess what's 1 month from now and kind of make some deductions yourself based on what's happening in the Solana ecosystem. But that's all I'm gonna say for now. We have so many new updates. We have pretty much the most hyped pod next week, which I guess some people can already know what it is. And again, thank you, Umbra, so much, and Abbas for helping us really quickly kind of put everything together and create something really special. So again, I want to thank everyone for coming. Everyone, thank you for watching. And yeah, I guess I'll let you say the last words, 8-bit, and then I'll close this off.
Yep. I don't have much to say. I think I've said basically everything I could, but I guess just a last message, as I'm really grateful for everybody tuning in and all the support from the whole Solana ecosystem. I really, really appreciate our team who's been working 24/7 to get this going. And yeah, guys, if you want to see more like this, if you're interested, reach out to us. Let's do something. You want to raise, come to us. You want to share some ideas, you can come to our community. You're more than welcome. So yeah, I think that's it, man. I will talk to you guys hopefully soon, or see you guys very soon. And goodbye.
Da 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 da.